Today we've got a broken pipe under a sidewalk. Well, actually it's a little bit on the edge of the sidewalk here. It was broken by the asphalt company that was replacing the sidewalks. As you can see, these are asphalt sidewalks behind me. And they wanted to fix it. I provided a proposal to fix it, and then they didn't want to fix it. So now I'm out here to fix it. So let's fix it. And this is what I'm talking about. They did a sidewalk repair here, and when they were doing it, I don't know what went wrong, but they hit the pipe. It's hard to see it. It is right here. They actually painted over it when they resurfaced this whole sidewalk. They ended up resurfacing over the pipe too. Either way, we're gonna have to cut some roots out of our way to get in there to make this repair. And these roots are about the size of my thigh. So this will be fun. All right, check back in a little bit. And after removing all of the roots out of the way, now we can see the lateral line we need to fix. Our break is between that bottom 90 and that's a T. So the next step is clearing out all of the roots in this area so we can access the pipe over there. And then we can make our repair. All right, before I take another step, I just wanted to show you guys this. These roots are just wrapped around the pipe here. So I'm gonna use my surgical tool to get rid of them. Now that we've got this to a point where we can fix it, let me show you how it broke. They had, well, not they, the tree had roots growing underneath this pipe here, which were pushing this pipe up, and roots growing across the top of this pipe here, which were pushing this pipe down. And when that happens, it causes the pipe to break right there. So we're gonna cut this whole thing out and rebuild it so that there's no stress on the pipe. Let me set up my tripod so I can show you how I do that. I normally do these types of videos in time-lapse mode and then do a voiceover, but for today, I'm not doing that. We're gonna go ahead and do this one kind of live. I'm gonna go ahead and film it and see where it takes us. So first step, let's go ahead and remove the part of the pipe that is broken. Get that out of our way, and as you can see, this is where the pipe broke, right there. So that's out of our way. Now we got a little bit more room to work here. There is a root underneath this pipe, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. There we go. Get as much of that out of the way as possible. The tree's over here, so that root's not gonna grow anymore. But what I definitely want to do is I want to get the rest of that tar off the pipe, and I don't want to have to get it off, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. You guys can't see that from that view, but there is tar on the pipe there. So we got that out of our way. Now the next step, let's put our T in. And the way that we're going to end up doing this is we're going to come straight across and go straight down into this pipe here. So we'll go ahead and get our T set up. Using both the primer and the solvent glue is important because the two work together to actually weld the pieces of plastic together. So it is important that you use both. Next step is going to grab some of this 3/4 inch PVC. We'll cut it down a little bit because we don't need all of this 3/4 PVC. But we are going to use the bell end I have here because why not? We have one, and it's a way better connection than a coupling. You want to give it a 1/4 turn when you stick it on there. I want to be able to line up where my T is going to go, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece of 1 inch so I can stick it, or dry fit it rather, onto the 1 inch pipe coming out from under the sidewalk, so that I can eyeball where I want my T to be. And I am actually going to use this piece of pipe for this connection. That's why I did leave it long enough for that. So now I want to figure out exactly where I want to place this. And I know I have a bushing in here, so my normal spot to cut would be a couple of centimeters or millimeters, whatever, outside of here. But because I have the bushing, I'm probably going to have to cut the pipe right around, not probably, I know I have to cut the pipe right around here. So, I got my eyes set on where I want to cut the pipe. The infamous slip fix. The instructions tell you, set it there, cut right there. And you can do that and it'll work. I prefer setting it where it's gonna go and cutting it at this line right here. So when I'm finished with it, it's fully extended. And I'll show you what line I'm talking about as soon as I cut the pipe. So when I put the slip fix up to the fitting in the ground, what I'm doing is setting it right about there. And then on the other end, you see these lines at the bottom of the slip fix? That last one, right there before you get to the rough material here, that last line, that's where this ends inside. So you can measure to that line there. And the reason I did that is so when I'm done putting this all together, it'll be fully extended. And when this charges with pressure, this doesn't move at all. We'll do the male side first. Give that a quarter turn. And then we'll come over here and we'll put some solvent on the female side. Slip it onto the male side of the pipe. And that's fully extended, so when it comes time to charge the system, that won't be a problem. Now we need a piece of 1-inch pipe to come up. Next thing's next. We're going to go ahead and figure out how long this needs to be. And what I'm doing is measuring to the end of my bell and just a little bit short of the end of the bell, so right where that 5 is. And then over here I'm going to cut right where that F is. Sometimes I like to use the markings on the pipe as a reference for cutting. So we'll go ahead and cut right at that F. If we have to trim, we'll trim, but we might not have to. So we get it all the way on. As you can see, that's what we're dealing with. I sometimes try to primer my fitting first so I can get the brush just a little bit drier so that my primer doesn't leak down the pipe. Even though this is getting buried, I like to see all the repairs that I do nice and clean. I've dug up some fun looking stuff. I don't want to be the recipient of the comment section of those photos. So, I do it right the first time. And that is how I fixed that. And there you have it. The zone is up and running. If you like what you see, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. All right, I got to get on to the next appointment. Peace.